If you received orders for deployment, would you be physically ready to accomplish the mission? You see, Secretary Pete Hegseth of the Department of War believes that readiness starts long before conflict arrives. In fact, he believes that physical fitness is the key to readiness. Today, I will discuss the Department of War's renowned focus on physical fitness and the changes the Air Force has made to help accommodate the Department of War's focus. Hi, I'm Keller. I am the manager of my unit's fitness program. I work with airmen every single day on their fitness requirements. So I have firsthand insight on how these changes affect not only the members, but mission readiness. But before we talk about the changes the Air Force has made, let's take a look into the Department of War's vision. You see, on December 25th, 2025, there was a large gathering of highly ranked government and military officials, and they were addressed by Secretary Hegseth when he emphasized that military readiness starts with having physically fit service members. He gave guidance such as making sure that members are doing PT every single day, guidance on making sure that there's an update to the PT tests and their components, and increasing how often members take PT tests to ensure military readiness. This guidance has brought a lot of change into the Air Force. One of these changes is the implementation of mandatory physical fitness training every duty day. During Secretary Hegseth's address, he said that every warrior across joint forces is required to do PT every single duty day. You see, in the official guidance for the Air Force Physical Fitness Readiness Program, titled AFMAN 36-2905, you can see in section 1.2.3 that every member is required to do physical training every single duty day for a duration of 20 to 60 minutes per session. See, this change not only invokes consistency in fitness, it invokes accountability and making sure that members maintain their fitness and readiness throughout the year. Now, this change isn't the only thing that members will see within the Air Force. The Air Force is also moving away from testing once a year to twice a year and adding a component to the PT test. You see, on that same brief given by Secretary Hegseth, he announced that every service member will be doing 2 PT tests a year and following the waist to height ratio 2 times a year. And this can be seen in the AFMAN 36-2903 and section 3.4 and 3.15, where the Air Force not only added biannual testing, so testing twice a year, but also added the waist to height ratio component. That's what was there, but was replaced back in 2020. It is now back. Lastly, the Air Force is implementing the 2-mile cardiovascular component, replacing the previous 1.5-mile run. Now, these PT changes are not the only thing the airmen will see when it comes to testing. You see that the PT's test score will now be heavily influenced on how airmen are evaluated. From now on, moving forward, airmen's last and most recent PT test score will be on their EPB, otherwise known as their end of the year evaluation. So incentivizing that airmen stay fit and ready, because their PT test score can affect promotion, which is huge. Really incentivizing maintaining that fitness and that readiness throughout the year. So in conclusion, the Department of War has a renowned focus on physical fitness, and the Air Force made several changes to accommodate, such as adding mandatory PT every duty day, changing the PT test to make it harder and more frequent, and adding members' PT test scores onto their end of the year evaluations. Again, all of this is done by the Secretary Hegseth, by the Department of War, to make sure that our military and our forces are ready to fight at a given notice. And it also makes sure that Air Force members stay healthy, fit, and ready to fight. Thank you.